I'm George McCranie, DUI, criminal defense, serious injury, and family-based immigration attorney with offices in Douglas and Valdosta, Georgia. Today I wanted to talk to you and give you 3 tips on how to find the right attorney for your case. Now, this happens all the time. It happens a lot of times. I'm coming out of court. It happens to the attorneys that work at our office here. We're in court. Sometimes we make it out of the courtroom. Sometimes we don't before people ask us questions. Sometimes it's, hey, have you seen my attorney? Or I've tried to call my attorney. I can't get him on the phone. I got a question. I'd like to ask you a question. Or I didn't talk to my attorney before I came to court, and I've got some questions. Or like yesterday, when I was coming out of court yesterday, the question that I got was, hey, I've been charged with, not a bad crime. It's just a little simple case, and I hadn't hired an attorney because there's really nothing to it, just a misunderstanding. And I'd just like to ask you a couple questions about it. So we get these questions all the time from people that either have hired attorneys, they can't get in touch with their attorneys, they don't want their attorneys anymore, or they haven't hired an attorney and they don't, basically think they can do it themselves. And my advice is you need to get the right attorney for your case. And you've got to look at this thing, because anytime you're dealing with a criminal case, and this happens in all different types of cases, not just criminal cases. It happens in criminal cases like yesterday. The fellow said, look, I've been charged with family violence. There's nothing to it. It's a misunderstanding. Nobody wants to prosecute. I hadn't hired an attorney, and it's not that big a deal. I just got a question or two. Well, I explained to him, look, it is a big deal, because if for some reason you're convicted of this charge, do you hunt? He said, yeah, I hunt with my sons all the time. I said, well, here's the problem. If you're convicted of this charge, then it's going to affect your gun rights. And he had no idea. So with a case like that, it happens in severe injury cases. We've had people that come in and they say, hey, I've been trying to handle this case myself, and I can't get the insurance company to talk to me of the at-fault driver. He got the ticket, he ran the red light, but they won't fix my car. I've got all these medical bills piling up, and I just can't talk to anybody. And probably trying to represent yourself in that case is not a good idea either. Or even with family-based immigration cases. We have people that hire notarios, and the notario fills out their paperwork and tries to get them through the process, and what happens is their case is denied. Or another thing that happens is they hire an attorney that's not from anywhere near where they live, and when they do that, we've had people that hired attorneys from Colombia, the nation of Colombia in South America. So here's what happens when they hire an attorney like that. Last one we got was from Washington State. They hired these attorneys. Then they say, well, hey, I can't talk to my attorney. I can't get them on the phone. They won't respond to my emails. I don't know what to do. And then basically we have to come in and help them get out of this trouble. So I wanted to talk to you about 3 tips on how to hire the right attorney for your case. Now, my first tip is research the attorneys or the law firms that you're looking at. Check out their experience. Check out the training that they've had. Another good indicator is, have they spoken at attorney conferences or attorney seminars? Have they spoken to other attorneys to teach those attorneys how to do something? If they have, that's a good thing. All right. How long have they practiced in that location or in that geographical area? If they've been here 6 months or 4 months, that kind of thing, that should tell you something. If they've been here 20 years, that should tell you something, because they've been here for a long time. Most likely their families live here, their children go to school here, and they're not going anywhere. If they won't disappear like some of these attorneys that people hire from Washington State and places like that. So that's a good indicator. Now, the next thing I would say on it is go online and research these attorneys. One example is a website, and there's numerous websites out there, but one example is AVO or AVO. avvo.com. For example, that website goes on, it ranks attorneys. You ask which type of attorney you need. It will rank the attorneys in that city. It will also give you client reviews of those attorneys. Now, one thing I wanted to say about client reviews of the attorneys, sometimes you got to be suspicious. And it's one of those things where if it sounds too good to be true, sometimes it can be. And a good indicator is if you see, on any website or any review, you see an attorney that's got 25, 50, 100 reviews, all 5-star, not a bad word said about them at all, and they were all posted on the same day, That's a little suspicious. That should be a red flag for you, okay? So that's one thing that you need to look at. That's one thing. Do your research on it online and otherwise to find the right attorney. Now, tip number 2, talk to your friends that have had the same type of case that you have. Talk to them about their attorney. Were they pleased with their attorney? Did they like the way their attorney handled them case and handled them? Okay? See if they would hire that attorney again or if they'd want a different lawyer. Because a lot of times these people will give you a lot of valuable information about attorneys that you just simply don't have. And that's a great way to do it. Now, the other thing I wanted to say on that line is don't let the cost of the attorney be the determining factor, all right, whether you hire the attorney or not. Because getting the best attorney that's available to you may be the best investment that you have ever made to protect yourself and your future and your family, really. Okay? So talk to your friends, talk to your family, people that's had the same type cases, and that will give you an idea of what they've done and what's happened with them in the past and give you real information and a real insight into the different attorneys that you're considering. All right? And the third tip, and I call this go with your gut. All right? Be comfortable with your lawyer. If your attorney won't give you a direct answer to your question, that's a red flag. All right? If they don't seem concerned about you or your family or the effect that the case is going to have on you or your family, and they treat you just like you're just another number, that should be a red flag. Okay? It happens in all different types of cases. If it's a personal injury case, you've been seriously injured, and the attorney, all they want to talk about is how fast they can get you a check. We can get you money, this kind of thing. Well, maybe that attorney's not really interested in getting you the best result, going out and finding all the different avenues and all the different insurance that's available out there. Maybe they're just not that interested. They just want to get the settlement, get rid of your case, and get another case in. You need to get with somebody, get with an attorney that you trust, that you got a good feeling about. Okay? If you get an attorney and you've got a bad feeling about that attorney, I always say, go with your gut. All right? If you like the attorney, you got a good feeling, and you're comfortable, that's what you want. If you get into a situation where you don't get direct answers, they don't treat you like a number, they don't really act like they care about what happens to you or your future, this kind of thing, that's a red flag. You really, really need to pay attention. So those are my 3 tips on how to get the right attorney for your case. Okay? If you have any questions about a criminal case, about a serious injury case, or about family-based immigration, feel free to give us a call. You can reach us at 833-927-6227, or you can go online to McCranielawfirm.com. And on the website, we also have a lot of different videos on there. I try to make educational videos about all different types of Georgia legal topics. And if you got a question though after you watch that, feel free to give us a call, 833-927-6227. We'll be glad to help you get the answers that you need.